Hello everyone, welcome back to Chef Grey Cat's Kitchen. I'm Mike Grey Cat. Tonight I'm going to show you how to make a delicious garlic Alfredo. It's pretty simple. Our ingredients we'll start with is 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 3 small cloves of garlic, 3 tablespoons of butter, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon, actually it's more like 3/8 teaspoon of salt, 1 1/4 cups of Parmesan cheese, 2 nice spoonfuls like this of ricotta cheese, and then we have 1/2 cup of milk and 3/4 cup of heavy cream. Now the first thing you want to do for this recipe is make sure you have one of these really sweet old garlic presses. And shove your garlic in, and I'm going to move this so you can see what happens. Don't have to grab a knife and shave it off, but okay. Yeah, I'm going to open that puppy up again, put in the last garlic clove. Okay, so I got that crushed. I'll take a knife and alright, so we basically put our garlic through our little garlic press here. I will take this piece and put it back into the press. Make sure I got it all and do one last squeeze. There we go. See? Got the rest of it. Okay. So, now it's time to transfer all of these ingredients, including the milk, to a saucepan. And we're going to put it in this saucepan tonight, and I will move the camera and put some additional light on the stove. And we're going to make some Alfredo sauce. Trust me, you'll love it. See you in a few minutes. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm back. And as you can see, I've put the 3 tablespoons of butter, and it is salted butter, into the pan along with the garlic. And I've got it on medium heat, number 5 on my gas range here. And I'll stir it around a little bit. In just a moment or two, we should have this butter boiling. And the garlic press really does a great job on mincing up your garlic so it's nice and fine and it sheds all its flavor. Whoop! Don't move the pot, Mike. Okay. So I'm going to wait till that starts to bubble, and then what I'll do is I'll add the nutmeg, the pepper, and the salt. And by the way, if I didn't mention it earlier, the grated Parmesan cheese is 1 1/4 cups. I'll put that in the recipe that's going to accompany this tomorrow. And but yeah, it's freshly grated. Okay, now it's starting to sizzle. This is considered a spice of the kings and the pharaohs. Well, thousands of years ago, and during the Dark Ages, this was more valuable than gold. Nutmeg was one of those spices that royal families coveted, and when the spice traders came to Europe and brought nutmeg, they got very, very rich. Good thing we can afford it today and it's not as expensive as gold. Okay, our nutmeg's in there, our pepper is now in there. Now throw in the salt. That's cooking nicely. I'm going to turn the heat down to number 4 actually number 3 on my gas range. I've got basically high and then 1 through 9, 1 being the lowest. And high is to bring things to a boil. Okay, now I'm going to add our half cup of milk. And our 3/4 cup of heavy cream. Okay, and now my 2 spoonfuls of ricotta cheese. Okay, so I just rinsed off my spoon. I'm going to take out my favorite fork, and I'm just going to kind of let this come up to temperature. Now the one main thing, and I cannot preach this enough, do not bring this to a roaring boil. Do not try to cook it quickly. What you'll do is you'll turn the milk and the cream, you'll curdle it, and it'll separate, and so you'll have water and curds, and it's just going to taste like dog food. Well, dog food's actually pretty good, but dog poop. Okay, I said it. Alright, so this is not ready for prime time. But anyway, we keep stirring it. I've got that ricotta cheese melting. And I'll give it a minute or so to come to a rolling boil, a real gentle boil. I'm going to go rinse off my spatula, and I'll place my fork here. And what you can serve this with is many different things. I mean, you could actually serve this as a main dish with broccoli and shrimp, peeled shrimp, you know, pan fried, dump them into the sauce, and then you got shrimp garlic Alfredo. What I'm going to serve this with is a butterflied beer battered shrimp, and I'll show you how to make the beer battered shrimp tomorrow, and some French green beans. I'll also suggest that you try to find these linguine nests or fettuccine nests. This is a colavita. It's a product of Italy, and the nests just cook up so nice, and they only take about 5 or 6 minutes each. A little salt in your water, and I got these. I guess the supermarket that I bought them at was closing them out because they had them for 98 cents a bag, so I bought 4 bags. But normally they're about $2 a bag or more. Alright. Now the main thing is patience with this and stirring. And if you like a little more zest to your Alfredo, you can add more pepper. I like 1 teaspoon. You know, for my clam sauce yesterday, linguine clam sauce, I did pepper my plate when I was eating it, because I like that extra bite. Also, tomorrow I'll finally break down and show you how to make a PCRM, which is a pineapple, cinnamon, raisin, basically flavored liqueur, and you make it from moonshine and some simple sauce or simple water and sugar, and anyway, I'll show you tomorrow how to make yourself a nice cocktail using that. That goes with ginger ale, and it's really got a great flavor. So we'll do butterfly beer battered shrimp tomorrow, and we'll do the cocktails. Okay, this will probably take 4 or 5 minutes more to come to a very gentle boil, so what I'm going to do is not waste your time or mine. I'll cut this off right now, and as soon as it starts to actually boil, I'll bring back the camera. Okay, so it's been about 3-4 minutes. The cream and the milk, the garlic, nutmeg, everything's starting to just slightly bubble. So now comes the last ingredient, which is our 1 1/4 cups of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. And that's it. Okay, now we're going to stir this around to incorporate all of our beautiful Parmesan cheese. And while you may think this is thin, it is full of flavor. I turn the heat up to 4, and when it starts to bubble, I'll keep stirring it for just a minute or two. Then I'll put a lid on it and drop it to low while my fettuccine cooks. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just starting to lightly boil here. Alrighty. Make sure you keep stirring. You don't want this to burn, and you don't want it to boil heavy, because like I said, the cream and the milk will separate and you'll ruin the whole dish. And I know I did it once when I had company over and I got distracted, and it was like I was so embarrassed. So dinner was delayed by another 20 minutes as I had to make a second batch. And this was about 12, 15 years ago. But the result's the same today. You boil this, you lose it. You lose it. And the great thing about gas is once you shut it off, it's off. The problem with electricity or electric stoves is the heat keeps coming. So if you're using an electric stove, what you want to do is make sure you remove the pot from that element once it starts to lightly boil. You don't want it to keep cooking for 2 or 3 minutes as the elements try to cool down. Okay, you can see that's bubbling nicely. I'm turning off the heat, and there we go. I'm going to move that to a back burner, put a cover on it, and finish cooking my pasta. You don't need to see it plated because, no offense, you know how to make pasta, you know how to boil water. You can serve it with whatever vegetable you like and whatever meat or fish, or you can actually make this a meal. This is a serving for 2. So multiply the ingredients, and if you're serving for 4 adults, you want to double it. 6, you'll triple it, and so on and so on. But I always cook for 2 because there's only me. And I did make this when I was dealing with chemotherapy about a year ago. The problem was the chemo had me so darn sick that when I got to the part of adding the darn Parmesan cheese, I just threw up all over the place. For some reason, the chemo had made everything smell bad, taste bad. I mean, I was miserable for months. But thank God, and God's blessing, that I beat the cancer. So anyway, tomorrow we'll see you for some beer battered shrimp, and I'll show you how to make my PCRM booze. So, love to all. I will talk to you soon. You guys have a great evening.